When installing or specifying electric vehicle charge points, you may come across the term OCPP buried on the product label or within the datasheet. This video will explain what OCPP is and how it impacts on your selection of an EV charger. OCPP stands for Open Charge Point Protocol, a communication protocol that standardizes the communication between an electric vehicle charge point and a back office system used to control it. This communication is crucial in enabling various smart functions that ensure reliable and convenient EV charging, such as who can use the charger and linking to payment platforms for billing users based on what power is used to charge a vehicle. It also allows the charge point operator to gather information about the charger's performance. For instance, if it's in use or has a fault, perhaps they can go in and remotely correct that fault and reset the charger. This data can also be shared with user apps so vehicle drivers know if a charging bay is available before planning a journey. All useful stuff. Now, usually you don't need to know about OCPP for basic charger installations because the manufacturer's software is already pre-configured and provides most of the features that you need to run a small charging installation. However, as more chargers are installed due to the growing popularity of EVs, or you may have a fleet of vehicles that you want to charge, this is where OCPP comes important because you need a more integrated approach. Put yourself in the shoes of a company van driver who uses a fully electric van. You take the van home and charge it overnight, ensuring that it's ready for your journey the next morning. However, unless you're extremely generous, you wouldn't want to pay for the energy used to charge it out of your own pocket. Additionally, as the week goes on, you may need to top up, possibly when visiting the office or even at a fast charger out on the road. Now, trying to remember how much energy you've used for these different chargers, go into different apps and note that down for that expense claim would be pretty heavy on the admin. So wouldn't it be convenient to have a single software platform for all of the EV chargers that you use? And that's exactly what OCPP does. It allows you to swap the manufacturer's control system with a third-party provider. So in the case of our van driver, you'd be able to record exactly how much energy has been used to charge the van using just one app. Using OCPP offers benefits to both users and charge point operators. App providers that support OCPP continually add new features to their app and typically offer more features than the charger manufacturer's own apps that's built in with the charger when you first install it. This can range from payment options and user account management to being part of a larger charging network with strong branding that you can use to attract customers or users to your charge points or destination. If a new provider with better features emerges, then it's easy simply to swap to a new OCPP platform. And it's this flexibility that's key to the success of EV charger rollouts. You also have the freedom to choose the most suitable EV charger for your installation. Some manufacturers are great at home chargers, some are great for public charging, but it is that flexibility. And if that manufacturer that you really love happens to go bankrupt, then you can still use your charger because you're not tied to their original software. The OCPP's core protocol functionality is constantly evolving to meet the needs of the EV charging industry. Currently, most chargers use version 1.6. The upcoming version 2.0.1 will introduce advanced features such as plug and charge. This feature will automatically recognize and authorize the car for charging as soon as it's plugged in, eliminating the need for users to swipe a card or use an app. Of course, you will still need to pay for the actual energy used at some point. In most instances, that is. Looking to the future, version 2.0.1 has also introduced support for bi-directional power, also known as vehicle to grid or V2G. This feature allows you to use your car's battery to support the wider power grid and actually sell power back. If you're interested in learning more I've included a link to a video that explores this. Now, remember, to use V2G, you do need a special type of charger and a compatible electric vehicle, but it is the future and is the direction of travel that we're going. However, back to today, and all this talk of apps, versions, installing new software on a charger that's working perfectly may sound a bit scary. So time for a challenge. So we're going to step through the process of putting a third-party OCPP app onto this Savardis charger. Now, I was a bit worried because in the run-up to this it suggested I might have to plug a Windows-based laptop into the communication port inside the charger, which would be a painful place for me because I'm not a big Windows user. However, I think I can just do it using a smartphone. So let's dive in. We're looking for the configuration app for this charger. So we just open that up, and that's our charger there. Connect via Bluetooth. Usually a quick process. We're in. So now I'm looking on the configuration menu here. You can see down here OCPP server. So that at the moment is the charger itself, is their own software. We're going to flip it to Monta, but you can see in here loads of different options of third-party providers, and I'm sure they all have their own unique selling point, but just shows how dynamic this market is at the minute for this charging control. So we're looking for Monta. Wow, there's a lot of people on here. Yes, it's a bit like Yellow Pages. You want to call yourself A1 Charging Solutions. But anyway, Monta Cloud, here we go. So we're going to connect to that. Some warning there, auto start, right here. Okay, so what it's basically saying is previous things like charging schedules and RFID cards for this charger won't be valid once this is done, because obviously it's a separate platform. So we're going to connect. We're going to go through a charger reboot. So we expect, oh, there we go. The charger's gone off. We've got flashing lights, things like that. Talk amongst yourselves while this process. Oh, there we go. We've done the reboot. We're just waiting for a verification. All right, so we'll now see down there on OCPP server, it's now the Monta Cloud. Now that's half the process. The next part is to go across to the Monta app. So I'm going to add a charge point to Monta. I've already got a Monta account because we use it for when you're out and about charging. Tell us about your charge point. Well, there we go. It is. There we go. Now we've got the brand there. Choose the model. So this is the Maxi charger, and it already knows about this charger. It's a 22 kilowatt model with Type 2 connection. So this is looking good. Right, we'll call this eFIXX for the charger, and we're on engine shed lane. Lane has found us there on the address. So it's found us there. We're going to continue. Allow charging in off-peak hours. Well, yeah, because this is a work-based point. We want to charge when we're actually at work. Obviously, we do work late hours as well. Add the charge point. Right, connect now. So there we go. What we're doing now. Connection method is OCPP. We just need the serial number of the charger, which I can remember is hiding around here. 11N. Right. Pair the charge point. It's got a picture of the charger that we're expecting to see, which looks like this one. Obviously, different manufacturers have a different process for doing this. So share your experience of implementing this. If you're an OCPP expert, we can perhaps learn from you. I've got a little bar going down there suggesting something. Oh, there we go. That was quick. We're done. So that was the process done. We can see my charger now in there. If I go to the little settings function in the charger, we've got another train going past here. People wonder sometimes why we call this Lineside Studios. It's because we're actually right next to the railway line, and at certain times of the day, about this time, there's a few trains go past, and this looks like it's going to be the longest train in the world. So if we look in the access settings here, here's the good bit. This is a private charge point because we're here. But if I wanted to make this a public charge point and charge people or bill people for doing it, we could do that and set the price per kilowatt hour, and we would then also appear on the Monta map within the app as well. So that's fantastic. We've gone from, obviously we've invested installing a charge point. We could now earn money from this charge point, which I think is a great thing. Now let's have a look. So the other thing, the Monta sticker. So we can order a sticker. So the sticker goes alongside the charge point. So if someone turns up and they don't have the app for this particular, for Monta, they could scan it and it would identify this specific charge point and then be ready to charge. However, I think there could be a better way, because this charger, as we've already reviewed previously, has an LCD screen on it. So what I'd like to see is that sticker on there. The Monta sticker turns up after a few days, but you have to pay for it, which is something I try to avoid, as we are a bit careful with our brass here in Yorkshire. And this charger has a perfectly good LCD display, which we've already customized. So hopefully the feature to automatically add the QR code to the LCD display will be rolled out as part of a future OCP upgrade from Monta. Until then, we've been very naughty and copied the QR code and made our own version, which the team at Savardis have uploaded to our charger. One feature Monta have added recently is the ability to manage queues at an EV charger. A great feature for anybody managing destination chargers. I'd highly recommend you check out this video here to learn more. Hopefully you've witnessed that OCPP isn't so scary and is quite easy to implement on a charger, or at least it was in this case. If you've had experience yourself implementing software and you found any great apps, drop me a comment below.